This August has been a stormy month for Esther Yushin. In just 1 week, she lost over 720,000 followers on social media as allegations surrounding her family's past surfaced and spread like wildfire. From her grandfather to her father, and now to Esther herself, long-buried secrets have been dragged into the light, leaving the public asking, is she a victim of injustice or is karma finally catching up? Lately, it seems like Esther has taken a permanent residence on the hot search list. Hashtags like #Yushin family suspected of embezzling state assets, #Yushin fans threaten lawyer and get clapped back, and #Yushin controversial remarks on variety show have been popping up one after another. But this wave of controversy didn't come out of nowhere. The signs were there as early as May. That's when Douyin creator Lao Pan Ka-sheng released an 8-part video series titled The Family Has Minds, digging deep into Esther's family business. The investigation suggested that her grandfather's top position in a state-owned enterprise may have facilitated illegal collusion between his son's business and government, with the family potentially benefiting from the misuse of public assets. By combining through public court documents, annual reports, and financial statements, Lao Pan uncovered startling details. Esther's father is suspected of loan sharking, and his companies may have been involved in tax evasion and financial fraud. One published court verdict revealed that between 2012 and 2013, her father lent out 37.8 million yuan with a monthly interest rate of 3.6%, amounting to a jaw-dropping annual rate of 43.2%, far exceeding legal limits. To put it simply, a company that borrowed 37.8 million yuan from Esther's father during 2012 and 2013 saw its debt balloon to 70 million yuan by 2015. Even more suspicious, during its operation, the company's tax burden rate was just 0.34%, compared to an industry average of 3 to 5%. And before it was dissolved, the company was suspected of embezzling up to 1.5 billion yuan in state assets. Regarding such a sensitive and high-stakes revelation, Esther's team naturally responded, but the response appeared very weak. Her studio issued a statement through lawyers on May 19, 2025, denying allegations such as misappropriation of state-owned assets and collusion between officials and business, and filed defamation lawsuits against several Weibo users. The lawyer's letter emphasized that the 15 billion figure is false information. Later, they even responded by saying that Esther had no direct business connections with her father. However, they did not directly address the financial data discrepancies raised by Lao Pan. What's even stranger is that Lao Pan claimed to have never received a liar's letter from the Esther's family. So if the Yu family has nothing to hide, why did they sue the first whistleblower for defamation? Of course, a simple response was never going to be enough, a fact that Esther's family knew all too well. So while the video series contained bombshell allegations, it strangely failed to ignite much online buzz at the time. It didn't even make it to the hot search lists. It wasn't until August, as more netizens joined the wave of criticism against Esther Yu, the people began connecting the dots. Many started to suspect the Yu family had been quietly manipulating public opinion all along. This realization suddenly explained a series of otherwise puzzling events. Why did Shu Kai's dating scandal suddenly blow up? How did that half-hour private phone argument of Dylan Wang get leaked? And why did so many entertainment influencers, gossip hubs, and Red Note bloggers stay uncharacteristically silent? After all, these are people who typically swarm to the slightest whiff of gossip like sharks to blood. So why would they ignore a blockbuster exposure of this scale? Even the subtle hints dropped by fellow celebrities seem telling, like Lucy casually reviving Esther's 6-month-old car reversing on the highway out of nowhere during a live stream. In another live stream, Zhao said, "This was a long time coming. She set up the accounts, controlled the public opinion, and then came after me in the middle of the night. The only reason for these smears, she can't beat me fair and square. It's also petty. It shows a stable core but a complete lack of grace. Was she hoping to snag my endorsements? Too bad. I just resigned. Must be so annoying." Lucy didn't name names, but her clues, stable core and competition, are a clear nod to her revival, Esther Yu. As for producer Yu Zhang, he cryptically mentioned Lao Pan's sharp financial mind while defending Shu Kai. They all seemed to know something but were too afraid to say too much. Their half-revealed, half-concealed tones felt anything but accidental. but you can't smother fire with paper forever. Gradually, the situation began slipping beyond the Yu family's control. Public scrutiny intensified, discussions kept brewing, and before long, third-party data revealed that Esther Yu had lost over 720,000 social media followers in just 1 week. This mass unfollowing quickly became a headline-worthy event in its own right, finally crashing onto the hot search charts. At the same time, Esther's past controversies came flooding back. One after another, negative revelations pushed her name to the top of trending lists, systematically tearing down the little sun persona she had carefully crafted over the years. Zhang Hangyu, her co-star from the variety show Grade 1, came forward and claimed Esther Yu frequently bullied her and even called her Spider Spirit. Zhang admitted that she was already suffering from depression at that time, and the constant pressure on the show completely shattered her inner order, leaving her unable to respond to all of these controversies. Zhao Jiwei, who participated in the same show, also spoke out. He went live to deny ever having dated Esther, explaining that all the intimate interactions with her during the show were deliberately arranged. Therefore, the so-called cheating on Esther with her agent never happened. He had been trying to clarify this matter all along, but no one ever paid attention. What's worse, this rumor had derailed his career for 8 years since then. Given all this, we might finally understand why Shukai appears so dismissive of, and even visibly disgusted by, Esther Yu on variety shows. Faced with this flood of negative revelations, Esther's die-hard fans were far from idle. They rushed to defend her under every post related to the scandal, but their enthusiasm backfired when they inadvertently targeted prominent legal expert lawyer Yu Shanshan. After the lawyer commented waiting for the collapse in Weibo, a swarm of Esther's fans flooded his feed with insults. In response, he posted over a dozen messages clapping back directly. He wrote, "All I said was waiting for the collapse. I didn't name anyone. Yet a certain someone's fans came to attack me. How ironic. Is your idol so prone to collapse that just hearing the word makes you feel targeted?" Just as Esther was pulling out all the stops to divert public attention, seemingly teetering on the brink of collapse, another name resurfaced in the court of public opinion, Ku Wanting. Back in 2012, Ku Wanting had taken China by storm with her smash hit You Exist in My Song, skyrocketing to fame seemingly overnight. But just 1 year later, her mother, Jiang Mingzhe, was sentenced to life in prison for embezzlement, bribery, and abuse of power involving a jaw-dropping 350 million yuan. A large portion of that money was intended to be used for severance packages for laid-off workers. Due to Jiang's greed and corruption, employees received pitiful compensation. One veteran with nearly 20 years of service received less than 2,000 yuan. Left unable to afford heating coal, these workers were forced to burn scrap residue to survive through Herman's brutal winters, where January temperatures regularly plunged to negative 24 degrees Celsius. The embezzled funds had been lavished on Ku Wanting, who was living a luxurious life abroad in Canada. In one interview, she once described her mother as a hardworking person who gave me the best life I could have. Then, after a deliberate pause, she added, no matter how she got it. Well, ironically, not long after her hardworking mother's arrest, Ku immediately fled back to Canada, where she continued living in comfort. Though she repeatedly keeps posting online in a bid to clear her mother's name, it never occurs to her to return the stolen money to possibly reduce her mother's sentence. Her hypocrisy ignited nationwide fury, trended for days, and ultimately led to her effective ban from the Chinese entertainment industry. In stark contrast, Esther Yu, at least on the surface, appears largely unscathed so far. Throughout August, she continued shooting commercials, hosting brand live streams, and walking red carpets draped in high jewelry and luxury gowns. After wrapping filming for the variety show Chinese Restaurant, she moved on to 2 new drama sets. Come September, she is scheduled to begin A Journey to Glow alongside Wang Anyu. That said, public pressure is mounting. Criticism has flooded the drama's announcement page, with many netizens urging the production to cut its losses and recast the role before filming even begins. So far, however, there has been no official word of a replacement. Now the question in everyone's mind is, will Esther Yu become the next Ku Wanting? What do you think? Share with us in the comments. That's it for today's edition of Chinese Star Buzz. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to stay updated with our latest content. Make sure to turn on the bell button for instant updates. We'll look forward to seeing you in our next video.